Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on a very special episode of Ask Sharifah Videocast. I haven't done an Ask Sharifah Videocast in quite some time, and that's primarily because I've been focusing on my new talk show, the Roundtable Talk Show. But when I find something or someone I really like, I have to bring it to you. Today, we are speaking with Chris Neufeld. He is the head of customer success and one of the founders at Adacado. Good
That's right.
afternoon, Chris. How are you?
Good afternoon, Sharifah. I'm excellent. Thank you for having me.
You are welcome. I had to make sure I said that right because I kept wanting to say avocado, all these other things,
It
and
wouldn't
I'm
be the
like,
first time.
avocado.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time.
Now, it's a couple of reasons I wanted everyone to meet you. One of the reasons is because with everything going on with COVID-19 and the pandemic, there are so many business owners that are struggling. Can you
Yeah,
tell us a little bit about yourself, your company, and what you do so our viewers can learn from you?
sure, absolutely. So I head up, as you mentioned, the customer success team at Adacado, and we are a digital marketing creative company. We've been around for about 10 years. And originally we started off as what's called dynamic creative. So our business was working with ad agencies and advertisers to help them personalize their display advertising in real time. So you've probably had that experience where you maybe looked at a product or booked a flight, and then you see ads for hotels to that destination that you're going to, or that type of thing. So that's kind of where we originated from. And as I said, we've been in the business for about 10 years. And over the last 2 years, we made a big shift in our focus. We in the past, we worked more with the larger agencies and large advertisers like the NBA and Dell and folks like that, which was great. But it was quite, when you're dealing with those types of organizations, there's a lot of requirements and can be complexities and a lot of back and forth because there's a lot of people involved. And what we found was a common feedback was, what could we do to make this whole process a little bit easier? What if I want to have a little bit more control? I don't necessarily want to have to rely on you guys. And so we took that opportunity to build a brand new platform, a self-serve platform from the ground up that would leverage all of our experience over the years, as well as some new developments in technology that allowed us to take everything that we had done traditionally and make it so much easier and put it all into the platform so that anyone could get started and make their own digital ads, dynamic digital ads, and do it themselves in like 5 minutes. That was always our vision, is to have this 5-minute ad builder that you could launch with. So that's essentially what Adacado does. And we just really completed that transition from our previous business with the legacy platform, if you will, to our new self-serve platform. We just completed that at the end of March and turned off all of the old platform. And we've been totally focused on our new self-serve platform. It's been going great. We'll talk about how you found us in the beginning. But what we found was just, at the beginning of March, right, when we were transitioning over completely to the self-serve platform, was that obviously the world changed on us. And we were in a position where, advertising across the industry, there's a lot of metrics and surveys that are already out there indicating, ad spends are down 33% on digital ad spending, and budgets are being cut. And it's impacting, all of us and all of the businesses. And so we took this opportunity to say, what can we do as an organization to contribute to help businesses? Because we find that a lot of businesses are either trying to figure out what they're going to do with their marketing if they were already involved. They're maybe pulling back on their spend and focusing it more on digital instead of like print or other mediums, because digital is being, the primary medium that we're all engaged with these days. And then there's so many other businesses that are having to, do really hard pivots and adjustments to accommodate this new reality that we're all finding ourselves in. And they might be looking, I've never done this before. How do I get my ads? How do I promote my business or my organization and get involved in a digital advertising way when I don't have that experience? And so that was what we, that's obviously the world that we live in and what we do. And so to help that, we launched an offer, I guess this was just about 2 weeks ago, to provide any new people that come in and sign up with the Adacado platform with $300 of free advertising to help them get started and make an impact and contribute to the business economy, if you will. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense. I love it. It had a lot of information that I'm going to pick apart. We're going to
Okay,
talk a little bit later in the show about the $300 advertising
sure.
credit. I think that's wonderful. I think that's exciting. And I'm also one of the people who took advantage of that opportunity.
Yeah,
But from a business perspective, I've seen companies when it's the best of times kind of put their digital marketing budgets to the side and focus on, I don't know if this is going to help me. But now that we're in this epidemic, businesses may be a lot more reluctant to do any type of digital marketing. Do you
right.
feel that your message has changed in order to engage those businesses aside from, offer them an incentive?
I wouldn't say that our message has changed because we've always been focused. This is the world that we live in. So, we've been fairly niche in our focus in terms of like personalizing creative and helping advertisers to do that so that the user gets a better experience and the advertiser has better performance. So that's always been consistent for us.
Mhm.
And, any advertiser or marketer is going to have a number of different tactics, strategies that they're going to employ, whether it's search or SEO, optimizing their website, and maybe doing display advertising, email marketing. There's a variety of different channels that you can employ, and we happen to fit in one key one, which is the display advertising. So our message hasn't really changed in terms of what we do and what we feel to be important about the importance of digital advertising, because it's so prevalent. It's where we spend so much of our time. It's very measurable, and there's a lot of efficiencies in terms of the ability to advertise to unique audiences and to make updates to your creative very quickly without having to go through kind of the old school process of making changes to the ads and waiting for designers to make those changes, and how long that can take. So the message hasn't changed. We've just sort of, if anything, we're seeing more interest in what we're doing because of where we just happen to be.
Yes. So not to contradict what you were saying, but specifically when I was referring to the message, when you go to your website and there's the $300 offer, it's clear
Right.
that you're here to help business owners.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, that's been the big thing is, we still do what we do, but we looked at the opportunity of, we're fortunate as a business in that we can operate, remotely with all of our staff continuing to work at home. Most of our customers are, all around the United States, Canada, and the world, in many cases internationally. So we're fortunate as an organization that we can continue to do business. And so we wanted to take the opportunity to help support other companies that are struggling and might need some help. And this was our chance, our chance to contribute. We're not a manufacturing, we can't make masks or other things like that, but this was our way of making a contribution.
Hey, you never know. Next thing, the next product may be the Adacado mask. Everybody seems to be jumping in the mask business these days. I scroll through social media and I see them everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the things that you mentioned, and it's a key word that I hear often, is the word pivot, pivot,
Mm-hmm.
pivot,
Yes.
pivot. And in your business, that's one of the things that you mentioned. You pivoted from your legacy platform to a self-serve platform. So
Correct.
people can self-service themselves, upload their flyers, upload their images, create their own marketing message. Is there a learning curve or something that's required in order to be able to go through this self-service platform?
No, it's, I think, users today are pretty sophisticated. We've all got a lot of experience, with online tools and apps on our phones, and, whether it's Instagram or Facebook and all the different tools, the social media apps. I think everyone is pretty comfortable these days with, navigating through a system, uploading an image if that's what you need to do, and clicking a few buttons. And we certainly pay a lot of attention to the user interface and the experience so that we try to make it as easy as possible, because there can be a lot of complexities to digital advertising. Not everyone is familiar with it. So we're trying to take all of the years of experience that we have and distill that down and make it easier for the user when they're in the system to navigate through that and have an effective, easy experience. So it's always a work in progress. I'm not claiming that we're perfect, but we've and you can probably speak to this from your own experience, but we do try and make it as easy as possible. And if there are challenges or there's questions, we try and make it easy for our customers to contact us so that we can support them.
Well, let's talk about that. Your company did something I have never seen in about 26 years of being online or being on the internet and just being in the game. Have done something I've never seen before. I was setting up my ads and I was a little confused and I had a question. So I went to your live chat feature and I spoke
Yeah.
to one of your representatives. And he said, Sharifah, why don't we jump on a video chat real quick and talk about it? And I was like, oh, this is so cool. Because most companies, and I was having a discussion around this the other day, like the big boys, when you look at the Facebooks of the world and the
Yeah.
Googles of the world, their response is basically, we don't want to talk to you. We don't
Yeah.
care what you have to say. There is no telephone number. You cannot call customer service. Just send a message and we won't ever get back to you. But to have a company who has a representative who said, you know what, let me take the time to have a video chat with you so I can answer all of your questions. That's when I fell in love.
Oh, good. Well, thank you. I'm glad you had a positive experience with that. I mean, in my role heading up the customer success organization, that's near and dear to my heart, because without our customers, we're nothing, right? So we pay a lot of attention. We want to hear from what our clients are. Their experience with the platform, because if we can learn from, we had a customer that was stuck in this place. Well, what do we need to do to make that better? So it's an opportunity not only for us to help provide them with a better experience to help them get started, but also it's a learning opportunity for us. So yeah, we pay a lot of attention to that stuff, and it's a big focus for us.
Okay, well, let's talk about the $300 in advertising that you're getting away. So, Chris, tell us the fine print. Tell us the requirements. Do we have to give up a kid, a leg? What do we have to do in order
Just your
to
first run. That's all. Just the first run. No, we tried to make it pretty easy. Essentially, when you sign up, you will automatically receive $300 credit in your account, and that allows you to advertise on us for the first $300 to experience the platform and get yourself started. So the only thing that you'll need to do is to put in a credit card to ultimately turn the service on, but you're not going to get charged until you've used that $300. So you could use those $300 and then turn it off if you'd like. That's entirely up to you. Our hope, of course, is that you'll continue on and we'll continue to be partners together. But it is pretty straightforward. So you just create your account, put in your credit card, and the $300, and you'll receive an email confirming this, and it'll kind of tell you as you go through every day, as you're drawing down on that credit, so you're never sort of in the dark on that. What else can I tell you? It's I think it's pretty straightforward.
Then I'll ask him.
Pardon me?
Keep saying it's pretty straightforward. I'm interrupting, but I just want to make sure, because my audience, they want to know that I've asked these hard questions. So I don't have to spend $300 in order to receive $300, or I don't have to do anything else aside from open my account and add my credit card, and then I'll receive the $300 credit.
That's correct. Yeah, you do not have to spend anything to get that. It's your first $300 is on us. Yeah, that's correct.
Wow, I love it. Now let's talk a little bit about the platform then. It is it a search platform, a network? Who actually sees my ad?
Right. So that's a great question. So the platform is, as I said, we evolved from being what was called a dynamic creative platform. So it was all about creating your ads and personalizing it so that a user can see, a tailored ad creative. So for example, if you think of a retail scenario, they might have a product inventory of 100 or 1,000 products. So we can work with them. You can put your inventory in the form of like a spreadsheet, push it into the system, or upload it into the system, and effectively generate an ad for every single product that you have in your inventory. And then the ads will intelligently, you can do the setup, it will intelligently display the creative that's most appropriate. So for example, if someone was on the website and they looked at a particular product, you want to show them that last product that they looked at, and then maybe others in the same category. That's kind of a common example. So we provide that service of the ability to very easily and quickly create your digital display ads, dynamic ads. And more recently, what we also turned up was the media buying component, because in the past, we did not do that. We mostly worked with ad agencies who had their own media buying services in-house, and that's what they did. So we would provide the creative and they would do the media buying. But with our new platform and the self-serve focus, we found that a lot of people were asking, hey, I don't have an agency. I'm just kind of a smaller, e-commerce store getting started. Where do I go to run these ads? How can I buy, I've got $1,000 I want to spend on my marketing, but I don't have an agency or something like that. So we rolled out the media buying component as an additional component to what we provide. So in essence, you can go in and set up your account and create your ads and do your media targeting. So you ask, how do I know where it's going to go? Well, you've got the controls to say, I want to serve 1,000 ads a day or 5,000 ads a day. I want to do it on this schedule of at these times on these days. I want to isolate it only to this geographic region. For example, if you're a car dealership, you probably don't want to be advertising on the other side of the country. You want to be doing it in a location that's specific to where your clients might be. So there's a number of different attributes that you can set up as you're going through the process. Geography, you can tailor it down to website categories, audience categories. So you're focused on a certain, maybe a vertical, fashion retailer or something like that. So you have all those controls to not only create the digital ads themselves, but to do the media buy all in one platform so that your ads can run. And to answer your question of where will the ads run, many people don't realize that when we're out surfing around on the internet, that what's happening behind the scenes is very much like the stock market or a financial auction, in the sense that all of the ads that we're seeing are going out to an exchange where hundreds and thousands and millions of advertisers and publishers are coming together in an exchange in real time. And it's happening literally in milliseconds. And that's what allows your ads to be displayed on potentially any website around the world, or wherever you've specified it. So it could be shown anywhere potentially. And I'll say one little caveat, with the exclusion of some walled garden environments like a Facebook as an example, because we're not running on Facebook. Facebook has their own platform. You can go in and do your own thing in their environment. But if you wanted to advertise to people outside of Facebook, well, that's where you can use us and go beyond that to pretty much anywhere else. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense. Everything you're saying is making perfect sense. I just want to make sure, even though it's making perfect sense, that I understand it.
Sure.
So when I look at you and I look at the website, everything just looks so professional, which may intimidate some small to medium business size owners. When we think of PPC, pay per click.
Yes.
We've been told, like with Google, it may be $5, $20.
Right.
Some, lawyers, they may pay $100 per click. So
Correct.
when we think about, this $300 offer, how fast, maybe that's not a question. Let me rephrase the question.
No, I think I know where you're going, but yeah, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
How fast are you going to burn through that $300?
Yeah, like I don't want to burn through it in 15 minutes.
In one day. Yeah. Because of what it's a great question. What we've done is we've initially sort of set a threshold of roughly about 5,000 ads a day. And we did that purposefully so that we don't have a scenario where someone goes in there and blows a whole bunch of money on their credit card, if they're maybe not experienced and they didn't realize it, and all of a sudden they're getting a large bill. So we kind of capped it at that threshold for the time being, for that very reason. So at the sort of the minimum level, Adacado charges about $10 a day. Is what you could factor. So if you think of that $300 credit, you can run that for effectively a month and get a month full of free advertising at 1,000 ads a day, which would be 30,000 ads being displayed, however you've targeted your media. So you can run that effectively for an entire month. Now, if you increase the volume and maybe you want to up it to 5,000 ads per day, then your duration will come down to maybe like within a week or a week and a half before you've worked through your $300 credit. But you're somewhere in that boundary. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. It answers it perfectly. It makes sense. I'm just blown away at your generosity, and I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, there must have been someone at this company that said, don't do that. That's crazy. You're giving too much. That's typically what happens. It's like you have the creative over here who's like, I have this. That's me, by the way, if anyone's wondering. Like, I'm the creative. I come up with all these ideas and wonderful things that I want to do and how I want to save the world. And then the suit over there is always like, Sharifah.
Yeah. We need to talk about your budget. Yeah. Well, it's a good point. It's a good question. We did have a lot of internal discussion about that and what's the appropriate level and a manageable level for us to do this. And we felt that $300 was a meaningful, if that makes sense. And because of kind of our pricing structure and that $10 per day kind of minimum threshold, it equates to about a month worth of free services. So we thought that was a pretty manageable on our side and meaningful for the advertisers to truly get a sense of how the platform works and experience the benefits of it. And so that's kind of how we came out to that $300 number.
I like it. I like it. So who would be your ideal customer?
Our ideal customer would be anyone from, well, I mean, you're a perfect example, Sharifah. You found us online. You were looking for an advertising platform for business, and that's how you kind of came in. So it can be anyone from, you know, a sole proprietorship, you know, business that's looking to get online, to, you know, e-commerce stores. If you're selling something maybe on Etsy, or you've got a Shopify site or something like that, and you wanted to promote your products. So it could be anyone from small business to, I would say, mid to small to mid-sized ad agencies is kind of in that spectrum that are looking for a digital marketing platform. I mean, certainly we've worked with the large brands in the past and continue to do that, but with our new direction, you know, our focus has shifted a little bit more to be hands-on with you know, smaller businesses, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does. And I like that because with everything going on in the world, there has been more of a people coming together to help our small business, to help our local businesses, because we're always bailing out the banks, we're bailing out the airlines, we're bailing out all these large corporations. Yeah. I saw this morning that Richard Branson has put up his island as collateral for Virgin Atlantic. You know, wow. So yes, but fantastic. Who comes in and the unemployment, you know, people who are unemployed, yeah. They receive certain, you know, more benefits as a result, but who's out there really helping the small business owner or the entrepreneur?
Yeah, exactly. And it's in many ways a lot more gratifying working with smaller organizations because things tend to move a little bit quicker. People can make decisions a little bit quicker. And we see a lot more kind of efficiency in just the communication and the action, because a lot of times I'll speak for myself, in my experience working with some of the larger brands and big agencies in the past, there can be a lot of cooks in the kitchen, and things can take a long time to make simple decisions. And so it's nice when you can hand that control to the end user that wants that control and can do it themselves and make it so easy that they have that control, and they can take charge of that and yeah, really have the keys to the car.
Oh, I love it. One of the things I really liked about your company is because when I was searching for digital advertising, I looked at quite a few companies, and some I opened an account, I went through their process, but it just didn't resonate with me. But I think your customer service was the one thing that really just, I'm still advertising to this day with your company, but it came down to the customer service. And every time I had a question, either yourself or someone else was willing to jump on a chat with me. And instead of just saying, send us an email, we'll get back to you in 72 hours or 72 months, you said, okay, Sharifah, what are your questions? What can I help you with? Because we talked this week because another representative got me up and running, but I didn't understand the reports. So instead of just saying, you know what, Sharifah, it's easy, or go figure it out, you said, let's jump on a call, let's share your screen, and I'll walk you through each section. And I think for small business owners, the main way we suffer is we don't have human resources. We don't have a staff of people that we can hand that over. So for someone like yourself to take the time to walk me through the process, I'm extremely grateful.
Yeah, well, I'm glad to hear that. I'm happy that your experience was so positive with that. And it, as I said, it is very important for us. I mean, we do want to make the platform as easy as possible. We do want to provide as much documentation online so that people can find it themselves, because some people just prefer that. I want to do it on my own. I don't want to talk to anybody. There's a lot of you know, folks out there that want that, and we're happy to provide that and you know, make that experience as smooth as we can. But we recognize that, you know, all of us at some point are going to run into a barrier on something, or get stuck, or something's going to happen. And it's in those moments, which are frankly really quite critical, because that's when you have that opportunity to sort of make or break a relationship, right? I mean, we've all had that experience of running into a problem, and then, as you said, you can't get a hold of anyone, or you're running in circles trying to find support docs or anything like that. And so the ability for us to communicate with our customers, help solve their problem, and then, you know, as I said, learn from it as well, for us is something that we take really, really seriously. So, yeah.
Yes, but it wasn't just that, you know, with me, I'm part warm and fuzzy, and then I'm part business. You know, and the part for me that was business is I didn't just set it up and let it go. I watched my website. I watched my Google Analytics. I watched and saw the bounce rate that came through, and I was like, okay, that's a really great bounce rate. It was really low. People stayed on my website. I saw that they visited several pages. I got some new guests for the Roundtable Talk Show. So I was like, you know what?
Oh, that's
These are,
fantastic.
yes, I was so excited. And I said, you know what? Because often when you buy advertising online, it could be fake, it could be bots, it could be just a
Sure.
whole bunch
Yeah.
of different things. So when I saw that the people were visiting my website, spending time on my website, taking action on my website, I'm just really ecstatic. And I wanted to share what you were doing with everyone.
Yeah, well, thank you. I'm glad to hear that your experience has been so positive, and that you're already seeing some results coming in on the people that have been engaged with your ad. So that's wonderful news. Thank
Yes,
you.
it is. Now, Chris, we are coming down to the last few minutes of the show.
Okay.
And what I like to do at the end of every show is just allow my guests the opportunity to speak directly to the audience and let them know what you want them to take away from your interview.
Okay. Um, well, I would like to say to everyone that's watching, first of all, you can find us on adacado.com. That's ADACADO.com. And once you get to the site, you'll find it's pretty self-explanatory to get started and sign up for an account, and take advantage of that $300. And basically what we're providing is, online advertising made easy for the small to medium-sized business. And if you think of all the changes that are happening in the world and how quickly our situation is changing on a daily basis, and how sometimes you maybe need to change that messaging to your clients, that's the type of thing that will save you so much time and energy to be able to make those quick changes in the platform and have them immediately live in your advertising. And that's a key component of what we do, making it easier, making it faster, and affordable as well.
Yes, and actually get clients, get customers, sell products, sell
Help you
services.
sell products, help you get your brand out there. Yeah, because at this time right now, it's really critical to be able to get that word out to, if people don't know who you are, maybe you're starting a new business at this time, or you're shifting your messaging to be a little bit more brand focused instead of performance focused, because you do need to be aware of the situation, and not necessarily be tone deaf in the messaging that you have in your creative. So that's important to be able to make those adjustments. But ultimately, yeah, help to raise your brand awareness and help you to sell products and be successful in your organization.
Yes, so if you're interested in selling products, if you're interested in the $300 in free advertising, you definitely want to check out Adacado. Visit their website, let them know. In case you talk to them, tell them Sharifah Hardy said hi. Until the next time, I want to thank you, Chris, for being a guest on today's episode of Ask Sharifah Videocast.
Thank you so much, Sharifah. I really appreciate it.
You are so welcome. And I want to thank everyone who's tuned in. Go ahead and share this information, because your friends want to know where they can get $300 in free advertising, how they can get more clients, more products, more services out there. And you know what? You saw it here. If you're interested in being a guest, visit the website at AskSharifah.com. We'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back on the Roundtable Talk Show at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Bye now.
Bye-bye. Thank you.